In today's video, I create my own rod tier list in Roblox Fisch, and I will be rating each rod based off of their resilience, luck, and etc. Anyways, let's get into the video. Okay, so as you can see, we have the tier list right here, and I just added this one because, you know, there's lots of bad rods in Fisch, and I'm gonna have to rank bad rods too. So anyways, let's start off with the reinforced rod. I'd have to put it in B. I've gotta say it is not the best for outside of the Desolate Deep, but it is good for in the Desolate Deep because then you can actually use it in the brine pool. So yeah, I've got to put this in a B. Now the Midas rod. I'm gonna have to put this in C. It is definitely not that good of a rod, okay? If you're looking to catch fish with the Midas mutation, then I guess it is okay, so that's why I'm putting it in C. Otherwise, it would probably be in D. Next rod is the Lucky rod. Now, starting out, I did use this rod, so I'm gonna have to put it in B. Next rod is the Nocturnal rod. I'm going to have to put this rod in A. It is a pretty good rod. Especially for a beginner's rod, I'm gonna have to say this is a really good rod. Now, the next rod is the Mythical rod. That is a automatic S tier. The Mythical rod is like an insane rod. It's so good for making money and stuff like that. And that's the only way you get the Mythical mutation on certain fish. So that is why it is in S tier. It is such a good rod. And the next rod that we have is the Fast rod. This is gonna have to go in horrible. I hate this rod. This rod actually is so bad. It just isn't good. Yeah, I don't know who in their right mind would ever use that rod. Now the next rod we have here is the Fortune rod. Just based off of its stats, it isn't a horrible rod. I'm gonna have to put it in maybe B. It's okay for a beginner's rod. If you're using the correct bait so you can manage the resilience on the rod, I think it's pretty good. Now the next rod is the Magma rod. Now outside of the volcano, this rod sucks, and inside of the volcano it is good. But since it helps you in the volcano, I'm gonna have to put it in C. Now the next rod is the Flimsy rod, and this rod's just horrible. Well, I'm gonna have to put it in D because beginners do use it. Now the next rod is the Magnet rod. I'll have to put this in C because if you're looking for like bait crates and stuff like that, it is definitely useful. So I'm gonna put it in C. Now the next rod is the Steady rod. This rod would have to go right next to the Nocturnal rod. It is like a really good mid-game rod. Now the next rod is the Training rod. Now this rod is the beginner's rod, so I'm gonna have to put it in D, and yep, you're going right down in horrible. Now the next rod is the Haunted rod. I'm gonna have to put this in B because it's the only way you can actually get Ghastly and Sinister on your fish. Now the next rod is the Carbon rod. I'm gonna have to put this in C. I've never really used it, but I've checked the stats and it's not that good. Compared to the Steady rod, it's just kind of a mid rod. It's not that good. The next rod is the Destiny rod. Now, Destiny rod, automatic S tier. That's such a good rod. Just the stats of it and everything in general, it's just such a good rod. Now the next rod is the Trident rod. Now this is also an automatic S tier. It is a pretty good rod outside of the Desolate Deep too, and you can also use it in the brine pool, so it's like perfect. Now the next rod is the Aurora rod. I have never really used it, so I'm not really sure about it. I'm gonna have to put it in A tier. The next rod is the King's rod. Now this is the rod I'm using right now, and it is an automatic S tier. It is like the perfect rod. It's like the upgraded Steady rod. It has really good stats, so therefore it is an automatic S tier. Now the next rod is the Fungal rod. Now I am definitely really not too sure about this rod, so therefore I'm gonna put it in B tier. The stats are really not that good. It doesn't have any resilience on it, therefore it's a B tier. Now the next rod is the Rapid rod. Get that out of my face. I don't want to see it ever again. You know what I mean if you take a good look at the resilience on it. Oh my gosh, it is actually like so bad. Now the next rod is the No Life rod. Of course, this is going to be an automatic S tier based off of the stats. It is a really good rod. I mean, of course, it doesn't have any resilience on it, but that's okay because you could just put resilience on it. Now the next rod is the Plastic rod, and I'd have to say it's a D tier. I don't really like the rod. I don't even think anyone but beginners use it. Now the next rod is the Long rod. Now this rod has barely any control, so I'm gonna have to put this in horrible. It is so bad. Now everyone, that is pretty much it for my tier list. Here's the tier list in all of its beauty. It is pretty much perfect, and it is pretty much what I think of every single rod in the game. Anyways guys, that is it for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe as I have lots more fish videos coming your guys' way. And I will see you guys all in the next video. Goodbye everyone.